thank you for the thumbs up. Say hola, not olo. Good afternoon and welcome. Glad to see you all here today. So let's get right into our subject, which is Siri in iOS 16. So this is Go for Lunch for January 31st, 2023, brought to you by GoFor Technology. I'm Roger Harmon, your host, and if you're new here, please type new in the comments so we can get to know you and welcome you to our community. So we're here to make your technology work for you. And today we're going to talk about 7 things you didn't know Siri could do on your iPhone and iPad. So we are featuring iOS 16 now that it's turned to iOS 16.3, which is the entry point we recommend for updating to a new operating system. The .3 is here. So we feel that it's safe now to update your iPhone. If you have an iPhone 8 or newer, it will take iOS 16 and you can take advantage of these features that we're going to talk about today. So one thing you need to make sure is that you have Hey Siri enabled. Now the reason I paused there is because I didn't want to trigger Siri. So from here on out I'm going to say Hey S when I don't want to trigger Siri, and that's going to be my abbreviation. So to make sure that Siri is turned on, you go to Settings, Siri and Search, and you toggle on Listen for Hey S. And so you need that turned on for what we're going to talk about to work. So number 1, you can find saved passwords in websites and apps. So you save your usernames and passwords across all your Apple devices in your iCloud keychain. And the way you do that is when you enter a username and password and this little window pops up, you always want to look for the icon with the blue circle and the compass dial here. The compass needle, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then you click on Save Password. So if you haven't been doing that, then you should start accumulating all your passwords in the iCloud keychain. So what we're about to show you will work. So then you would just ask Siri to show you the password for a app or a website. So our example today is going to be a website called the Gadget Flow. So let's switch over to our iPhone. Hey Siri, show me the password for the Gadget Flow.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
So as you heard there, She said you need to unlock your iPhone. It used my Face ID to unlock my iPhone. And now if I tap on my username, I can copy the username. If I tap on my password, I can copy the password to my clipboard. So you can also see down here below where it says under account options, you can also change a password on a website. So that's handy if you maybe are using the same password on multiple websites and you decided to take the advice of the professional security people that say use unique passwords on every site. So you could use that change password on a website to take care of that. So just to review here, you're going to need to use your Face ID or Touch ID. Then you are redirected to the specific password page in your settings. You can copy your username or password to your clipboard, and you're all set to go. Number 2, you can restart your iPhone with Siri. So many times when you have a problem with your iPhone, it's not working the way you expect it to, the first step is to simply restart it. And now you can do that with Siri by saying, "Hey, yes, restart my phone." And then there'll be a confirmation, and then you say yes to that prompt, and it'll restart your device. So let's show you how that works. "Hey Siri, restart my phone."
Just to confirm, you want to restart this device?
Yes. Okay, so the iPhone turned off, and while it's restarting, we will go on to the next. Number 3. You can turn off an alarm now with Siri. If you don't turn off that alarm, it will persist for 15 minutes. So you can simply say, "Hey S, turn off my alarm," or you can actually just say, "Hey S," and nothing else, and it will turn off your alarm. Number 4. You can find families and friends using the Find My app, which allows you to track your Apple devices, your friends, your family, and your loved ones by simply asking Siri, "Where is," and name that person. So we're going to put in our passcode to reactivate our iPhone. Okay, so let's look at that. "Hey Siri, where is Bob Wood?" So you see the Find My comes up, and we can, so they're locating him, and it says that 12 minutes ago Bob was home. So some other things you can do is it'll show you the location of the person and how far they are and the approximate address of their location. So let's look at that. So I tap on the Find My window, and it shows me the location on the map. It shows me an address. It says my directions are, if I want to tap on that, it'll give me my map directions. It tells me he's 24 miles and 27 minutes away. If I tap on contact, then I can message him, call him, do a FaceTime video conference, or mail him. So that's very handy. And of course, to do that, they have to turn on their settings so that they can, their location settings so that they can be located. So just to review, you would tap the Find My window. You would be redirected to the Find My app. You click on contact, you can get directions to their location and more. So very handy, especially if you're traveling. It's always good to have Find My turned on for everybody in your party so that you can regroup when necessary. Number 5, speaking of traveling, you can translate a word or a sentence. So the translate feature is built into your iPhone and your iPad. And you can translate a single word or entire sentences. It supports 17 languages, including Spanish and Chinese, but not all languages are being are able to be used with Siri at the moment. So what you do is you say, "Hey S, translate," and then put in a phrase and then end with the language you want to translate it into. And to hear the translation again, there's a little play button. You touch the play button and it will repeat the translation. So, "Hey Siri, translate how far away is the beach in Spanish?"
In Spanish, how far away is the beach is? ¿A qué distancia está la playa?
I'm not sure why Siri adds an S to beach, but she has been consistent about that. So you see the little play button in the lower right-hand corner.
¿A qué distancia está la playa?
So we can hit that, and it will replay the spoken translation, and of course we can see the written translation right there. So you could use that to ask for directions with someone that doesn't speak English when you are in a foreign country. Number 6, you can set a reminder based on your location. So an example would be to remind you of something when you arrive home. You can also be reminded when you leave home or when you arrive at a certain location. The most frequent way I use this is to remind me to take a reusable bag when I go to Trader Joe's, for example. So a reminder will pop up upon your arrival, and let's see how that works. "Hey Siri, remind me to set the thermostat when I get home."
Okay, I've added set the thermostat for when you arrive at Roger Harmon's home.
So, very handy to be able to do that. Number 7, get directions back to your car. So you can simply ask Siri to get directions to your car. That will open the Maps application and it will give you walking directions to where your car is located. So very handy if you're in a big mall parking lot or an event and you don't know exactly where your car is parked, because it's a silver crossover and there's so many of those nowadays. So if you have any questions, if you haven't already, please put those in the comments, and remember to share the GoFor Gazette with your friends and neighbors who use Apple devices. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit that little bell, and then you'll be notified when we go live. We need one more subscriber, and then we'll have the magic 100 that will allow YouTube to give us more privileges. So, any questions about using Siri in iOS 16? So, of course, there's a lot of other things that Siri can do. We're just reminding you, and the more you use Siri, the better it gets. So, thank you for the thumbs up. So, if you haven't been using Siri, if you've been frustrated about the results when you have used Siri before, give Siri another try. It's always getting better, and again, the more you use it, the more accurate it becomes. So Susan has a good question here. Do you have to set the car parking thing before you leave your car? No, it's automatic. It will figure out that your car has stopped at a location other than your home, and it will be available to you on command. Very good question. And Leslie Ann says, do I always have to say hey S instead of just S? So Siri, so right now on my phone, if I just say Siri, Well, she came up. So I think you can say just Siri, and that time she didn't come up. So I think to be consistent, you would want to say, "Hey Siri," and she'll come up. So Susan has a good question. How does it know what car I have? Well, it if it connects to your car with Bluetooth, then it knows what car you have. So I suppose if you didn't have your phone syncing up with your car, then it may not know where your car is. Of course, if you have any other questions, if you think of after we finish today, you can give me a call or email me, and that information is coming up right now. So have a great rest of your day.